back in the shop. Installed my exhaust, went to go drive it, and didn't even make it out of the parking lot. Throttle actuators went out. So today we're going to be doing throttle actuators. Yeah, that's about it. So let's get started. Okay, so here's some of the tools I used today. 2 different size flathead screwdrivers, panel puller, a little pocket screwdriver with a magnet, an extension to get to the bolts of throttle actuators, a T27, I believe that is, yeah, T27 for the actual bolts of throttle actuators, light, electric ratchet, just a snap-on gun with a 10 mil. You can just use a ratchet, and then a torque wrench for torquing down the throttle actuators. So fairly simple tools. All right, so first things first, we're removing the intake. It's going to be 10 mil flathead screwdriver. We're going to remove this from the actual boot here, and then lift out the airbox. All right, so we remove the airbox, the boot, and the little connector piece that goes to the other part of the airbox right here. It literally just goes onto these little rubber grommets here and pops right out. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is remove the plenum. In order to remove the plenum, all you have to do is undo the clamps for each one of the individual throttle bodies. So obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The rear ones are a little bit difficult to get to, but I'll show you how you can get to the back ones. Yeah, so loosen the clamps to the individual throttle bodies, and then this whole thing pops up. All right, so let's discuss the specifics of removing the plenum. After you remove the airbox and everything else, and have loosened up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side, there's 3 other things you need to do. One is you need to remove this line right here, just a simple, same as this connection right here, depress and pull off the plenum. Second, there's another one of those same kind of connectors, lines right here, right there, and that is the line. Same sort of removal technique, depress and pull off. And lastly is this connector right here, which I will show a clip as to how to remove it, but it's simply just to depress the little clip here and pull off. After that, which I've already done, but I will do it again right now, it just simply pulls off of the individual throttle bodies, and voila. All right, well, here are the 2 new throttle actuators. I decided to get 2 new ones because I'm afraid of refurbished ones still going bad, because they can electrically fault still, and majority of the times these companies just replace the plastic gears. So you could be putting on, 150,000 mile actuators that just have new plastic gears, but the electronics in there are still 150,000 miles old, or 100,000 miles old, whatever it may be. So I don't want that to happen. I don't want to take the chance. So I forked up the extra, I don't know, like $200 each over a refurbished one, and putting 2 new ones in. So should be good to go now. And also got 2 new rods for the actuators. They're like 15 bucks a piece, 20 bucks a piece, so definitely worth it. They got the same like material, plastic material, as like the gears are made out of. So yeah, let's put these little guys on there. All right, here we can get a better look at some of the stuff that's under here. Here's that line you remove from the front. Here's the connector you remove from the front, and here is the line you remove from the rear. But yeah, so again, to make your life easier, when you reinstall this thing, keep these. I mean, there's little detents that stop you from going any further with the clamps, but I like to make sure that these are at their stops. When you put it back on, it comes or goes back together. Super easy. Now, throttle actuators, 1, 2. What we're going to be doing is just disconnecting this this harness right here from the actual vehicle. There's a couple bolts that just hold, or nuts that just hold it down. We'll pull it up, take out the throttle actuators, and install the new ones. Okay, so before we go any further, I went ahead and covered up all the individual throttle bodies, just in case. So just grab a couple like paper towels, whatever, shove them in there. And then next step is going to be to remove 10 mil and this 10 mil right here, which I've already done. This is loose. Alright, so next you're going to remove this 10 mil right here. Another just harness little tie down nut, and then that one right there, you can see it in the back there. Again, both just 10 mils. They just hold down this wiring harness right here. All right, now to get some more room here in this harness to get under it, we're gonna be taking out a few connectors. So it's gonna be this guy right here, this guy right here, this guy right here, it'll focus, this plug, that plug right there, sorry it's not focusing, that little guy right there, I don't want to focus, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, and then the actual throttle actuator connectors, and then you can have enough room to actually pull this guy up and get under there. They just pull pretty easily off the throttle actuator. The rods just come off super easy. Alright, so I've got all 6 of the bolts that hold both of the actuators in. There's 3 per actuator. They're both exactly the same, so just simply remove those 6 bolts. I also have this propped up just with like a little pry bar across here. And now we're gonna feed them out of here. Alright, so these are the 2 throttle actuators that came out of the car. This was throttle actuator 1, and this is throttle actuator 2. I had fault for throttle actuator 2. This actually looks like it's a new one that is faulted. I'm going to replace it, obviously both these anyways, but I'm going to take this one apart later on and see exactly what's going on with it inside of here. I don't know. But like I said, I'm going to replace them both, but this one has been replaced before, and this is the faulted one, so we'll see later. But time to install the 2 new ones. Alright, so I installed the 2 new throttle actuators. I used a little magnet to kind of stick the screws down in there, and then just kind of pushed them off of the magnet into the hole, and then tightened them down to 10 Newton meters. 10 Newton meters is the torque spec for these 6 little screws. So now we're going to put the rods from the throttle actuators to the actual other end of the throttle actuation. All right, so I started reconnecting all these connectors here to the throttle actuator. Put all these connectors back in place, exactly the opposite what you just did. Taking it apart. Connectors there. Excuse the noise. Yeah, started reassembling all the trim pieces. So I'll see you again once all these connectors are in. All right, so we tightened down the harness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 mils. All the connectors are plugged in. Only stuff that we have left to plug in are the Plenum connector, this little line, and also this one. So, and don't forget the one back there. Make sure that one's in. We're gonna place the Plenum back on top. All right, Plenum's on the car. All I did was I lubricated the boots that were in there with some like silicone spray, and then this thing literally just like fell right in. Gave a good shove on both sides, make sure it's seated in the boots. We reconnected the line in the back of the Plenum over here, connected the connector up here, and also connected the line underneath the Plenum that we took off previously. Right here. So now we're just going to reinstall the airbox, reconnect this, reinstall the little line here and here, or the boot here and here, and should be good to go for now. Probably we'll do a programming on the vehicle. So, all right, the airbox is back on. 2 10 mil bullets up here, little boot, boot installed, is connected, the clamps tightened, and yeah. So we're gonna start it up and then likely start programming also. All right, what's going on, guys? This is post exhaust install and also the new throttle actuators. I didn't get a chance to kind of close out the throttle actuator video before because I was kind of in a rush. I just took this thing on a 7-hour road trip to north of Detroit, and then it was about 5 hours back. I ended up in a different location near the end of the trip, but everything went great. I should say for the most part, just because the check engine light came on for the new titanium exhaust. Obviously there's no cats, so it has like catalyst efficiency faults, which Illinois does emissions testing, so I'm gonna have to figure out exactly what to do about that. But yeah, so that's gonna be another video more than likely, but I just kind of wanted to close out that throttle actuator video just with a little something, looking at the car, and let you know that this thing went on a 1,200 mile all total with trips throughout the entire trip, but yeah, about 1,200 miles, and things running great. So yeah, hope y'all have a great day, and see you in the next one.